to the channel. If you're new, welcome. Today I'm going to be working with embroidery. I'm going to be embroidering 2 hats. I have embroidered hats before, but I have never used puff embroidery. So I wanted to share this with you. It's going to be my first. I'm going to be using my multi-needle embroidery machine. I have already the hat driver in place, and I'm going to show you how to hoop the hat and then embroidering the hat. So let's see how it's going to come out. Like I said, I've never done it before. So guys, I can wait. So let's get started. Guys, I am in Embrilliance Essentials, and I'm going to show you the 2 different fonts that I found from Etsy. They are 3D-Puff or Puff embroidery fonts. The first one that I'm going to create is just my initials. So let's go here to letters. I'm going to type my initials all in caps. And I'm going to go to my fonts and find a new font. So I'm going to show you 2 different fonts that I'm going to be creating for this hat embroidery. This one's right here. It comes in 4 different sizes. I'm going to choose, I think I chose the 2 inches. Yeah, that's the one I chose. So these are the font and these are the initial. This is puff embroidery. I also purchased the puffy material that I need to do this. And I'm gonna leave this at 4 inches in width, and I'm going to make it no higher than 2.5 inches because right here. My machine, and this I think applied to most of the multi-needle embroidery machine when it comes to hats, you cannot do a design larger than 2.5 inches. At least for the EM1010, that's the way it is, and no wider than 5 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a 1/4 extra, like 4.25, right there. I'm gonna center it. So this is the one of the ones that I'm gonna be making. I'm gonna go ahead and change these colors because I'm going to use a pink for the fill. So I'm gonna jump these 2 colors. Prefer, which is Madeira. And the base, I'm gonna do it in white. So let's start with the black. I'm gonna switch this to white. Snow White is the name of the thread that I use right here. And I'm going to say, okay. And I'm going to do the same thing for the rest, for this and this one. I'm going to do the same thing. So since I already chose the white, I'm going to go to palette and I'm going to pick the white and I'm going to pick okay. Do the same thing with the next one. Pick white and say, okay. And then now I'm ready to switch this color, which is going to be a pink. I mean, I could leave it like that because, you know, you can do the switch when you go to the embroidery machine, but I'm very visual and I like seeing the colors that I'm going to be choosing. So I'm going to change this one to pink. It doesn't really matter what shade, so I'm just going to write pink. And I'm going to choose this pink rose just because I like it. And I'm going to repeat the same thing that I did with the other ones. I'm going to go ahead and say, okay. And I'm going to change the rest of them to pink. So I'm going to go back to palette, pick the pink, say okay. Pink, say okay. So this is the more or less the colors that I'm going to be using for the hat. It might be a little bit darker of a pink. I'm not sure yet. So now that I have this, I'm going to go ahead because I wanted to embroider all the borders first. And then I'm going to be placing the puffy material. And then I want to do the rest all at once. The way that it is right now is this way. I'm going to show you. It's doing it individually, all right? And to me, that it takes more longer time because I'm going to have to stop the machine, place the material, and do the other part. Then stop the machine, place the material, and tear it away. Then, you know what I'm saying? It's taking it one by one. I want to do everything at once. In order for me to do this, what I need to do, let me stop this. I'm going to color sort. And I think I have already showed you guys how to do this in previous videos. But for those who are new, I'm going to go through the whole process. I'm going to go to utility. I'm going to choose color sort. And I'm going to say, okay, it's new view. So this is the color sort one. And then I'm going to show you how now it's going to embroider. gonna make it easier and faster for me to do. You see, it's gonna do all the borders first and all 3 letters. And then when it stops doing all 3 letters, my machine is gonna be stopping. And then what I'm gonna do is place the puffy material on top, and then it's gonna start embroidering the pink part. For 3D embroidery, it needs to be done that way. That's the order that you need to do it, okay? First, the border, and then the fill. It's the opposite of normal embroidery. And this is done, all right? So this is one of the ones that I am gonna be doing. I'm gonna show you the other font. I am not going to be saving this because I have already done this, all right? So let me just get rid of this. Get rid of this. That was the original one. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start another one. File, new page. I'm going to choose the word buzz. Buzz. Okay. Enter. And now I'm going to look for the other font that I purchased that is also 3D. It's lower, 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 someplace in here. Right here, this one. This one only comes in one size. And it's like a varsity block design. Okay, it's a varsity shade. And it comes only in one size. I don't know why, but that's okay because either way, it doesn't matter because you cannot make it taller than 2.5 inches. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to enlarge this a little bit because I want it at least 4 inches wide. Right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit taller, at least 2 inches. Right there. Okay, that this is perfect. You know that when you are sizing these letters from any kind of font that you buy, you cannot make it bigger than 20% of the original size. Here, I went to 128. That means that I went higher by 8%. Because of that, I'm going to go back and make it 120 because I want to make sure that the puff is going to be embroidered properly. All right. So it's 120. All right. The width is perfect, 117. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make it 4 inches and a quarter in width. Right there. I'm going to center to page. And I'm going to be doing the same thing now. I forgot to mention it in the one before that usually when you are embroidering in hats, you're supposed to embroider starting from the middle out. I didn't do it on the other one, but I'm going to do it on this one. In order for me to do this, all I had to do is go to the right panel. You're going to see here that it says the word order, and it has it as normal. Normal meaning it's going to start from the B, the O, the S, and the S. But I want to start from the middle. So I'm going to be choosing any of the ones that has the L in the middle, okay? And then I'm going to show you how it's going to do the embroidery. It's going to be completely different. It's going to start from the O, which is considered kind of a middle because remember, these are only 4-letter words. So, I mean, if it would have been 5 letters, it would have picked the 3rd letter. But this one is start from the beginning and then it's going to start now at the end. You see? This is important when you are embroidery hats. It needs to be digitized that way. Started around the middle, going out, okay? And I didn't do this on the other one. I am not too concerned because I can do that change a little bit later. So now, if you notice, again, it's going one by one, one by one, one by one. I wanted to embroider all the borders first and then the fill, which is the puffy material, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna select this and I'm gonna go to utility, select color sort. Okay, click new. When you're doing color sorting, make sure that you click all these position, material, and RIH pre-sort. Make sure that you select all of those, okay? I'm gonna click new, and then this is the one right here. So we're gonna see now how it's gonna embroider. You see only 2 colors. So it's gonna do all the borders first, Okay. And then it's going to do the fill. All right. Same thing that it did with the ones before. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try this on the two hats. I'm going to end this and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to meet you at the craft table. Okay. Okay, guys. So we are here on the table. These are the hats that I'm going to be using. I'm going to start with this one. Is that hat, meaning that it's soft and should be easy to embroider. And this one right here is a semi-structure hat. Really, I mean, it's not as hard as other structure hats. Like I mentioned before, this is the first time I'm doing the puff, the puffy foam. This is a puffy foam that I got from Amazon. This one comes in multicolor packs. And I also got one that is all in white. That was the first one that I bought. And then I realized that, and I learned later on that you need to use the same color that you're going to be using for the letters, or for the fields embroidery. It needs to be the same color or similar color so it doesn't show through the stitches. So then I ordered this one. So I'm going to start with this one right here, and I'm going to switch the colors. Instead of doing this one in blue, I'm going to do this one in the pink. So guys, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to move you around. Oh no, before I do that, I want to show you something. So this is a heat gun or a professional heat gun that some people uses at the end, and I'm going to show you. They use it to make sure that at the end you're going to pass it around, and it tends to shrink the stitches. It makes it a little bit more tight, and then that way you are not able to see the foam in the back. I have used a lighter before for some of my patches. If you don't have one of these heat guns, you can use a lighter and just pass it through on the top just to shrink the stitches. Like I said, this is gonna be my first time doing this, and I decided to order this professional heat gun, or a heat gun. I say professional because it says professional here, but you know, who knows. I got it from Amazon. I haven't used it yet. It got in yesterday. Yeah. Yeah. How do I open this? I took it off the box, but I haven't opened it yet. I wanted to unbox it with you guys. They have a lot of them in Amazon. It was very hard for me to decide which one to buy. I got the more economical one. It was around $19, something like that, like 19 something, $19.99 or $20.99. And this is it. You still haven't used it yet. I had to read the instructions in between the videos so that I can know how to use it, because I don't know how to use it, people. And it comes with these different attachments. They come with a spatula. I don't know why. I'm assuming those people that use this for other purposes need a spatula to do what they need to do. I will give this to my husband because he can have it on his toolbox, but I don't think I'm going to use it. So, and yeah, I know that I can use this for other crafts that I might learn in the future. I know a lot of crafters own one. Yeah, I've seen people using it when they have like the sublimation oven. They cover the tumbler with a shrink wrap, and then they use this to shrink the shrink wrap. If in the future I get an oven for sublimation, which is not on my plans, then I can use this for the shrink wraps also. Okay, so this is like that, and I'm assuming you can use the attachment for this. All right, so I'm gonna put this aside because that will be at the end that I'm gonna use it. There's a dial back here that you dial the temperature that you want. And yeah, so let's see how it works, people. So I'm gonna see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna set up over there. I need to hook the hat into the hat driver, and I will see you. All right. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna hook this hat in here. This is gonna be a fast process. Most of the machines that are multi-needle machines have something similar to it. I don't know if you can apply it to your machine if you have a different one. I'm gonna do is this part right here. I'm gonna introduce it here. I'm gonna place it here. This is gonna match this square part in here, in there. And all I have to do is put my hands like this and push in. And you have to hear the click, okay? That is in place. Once you have it like that, you have to have your stabilizer. This is a tear away stabilizer. I pre-cutted this one and I folded to make it thicker because this is like a soft, you know, it doesn't have any structure to it. You're gonna place this under this plate in here, okay? And then make sure that the sweatband of the hat is pulled back, all right? You don't want to embroider with this like this. You don't want to do that. You need to pull it back like that, okay? Once you do that, you're gonna place the hat in here. And you're gonna make sure that this sweatband is gonna be introduced in here like this. It doesn't have to be all the way in, just a little bit, okay? You don't have to put it all the way back here. It's just like that is enough, all right? And then make sure that all of the sweatband is the same way, out that way. At the same time, make sure that the hat in here is gonna be under this little metal in here. I don't know, you can see it. The hat has to be under that, like above that, like that, on both sides, okay? On both sides, you're gonna cover that, all right? And then you see the line, if your hat has a line in here, you're gonna use that to match it to this line in here. And right now it's perfect, and this one came off. There we go. It came off. All right, so now that I have it like that, this part down here, I'm gonna use some clips to fasten it. But before I do that, we're gonna move the band around the hat and make sure that you're gonna position it in this part of the hat, between the bill and the seam of the hat right here, okay? And you're gonna turn it around, and then you're gonna fasten it here. So I'm gonna move the camera around so you see what I mean by that, okay? So I have it right here. I'm gonna move this around, okay? And if you see here, it's like a hook in here. You're gonna place this kind of level here. You're gonna place it in that hook in there. Make sure that it catches. You see how it's in there? Then you're gonna make sure that this part is in the rim of the hat driver. This part in here has to fit on here, on top of that. Then you're gonna put it here and you're gonna clip it there, okay? All right? I'm gonna move the hat a little bit towards the left because when you do that, it tends to move to the center. So I'm gonna place it a little bit off center, just a little bit towards the left. I'm gonna do it again. Right here, and then you go and close it like that. Right now it's off. I don't like it this way. Okay, I want it to be on top of the seam of the hat. Okay. There we go. Now it's in place. All right. Now I'm going to use these clips right here. This came with my machine for the hat embroidery. You're going to use these metal rods that I showed you earlier. You're going to clip it flat in there, because you want this to be as flat as you can get it. Okay. Same thing on this side. And I'm going to press here. I'm going to press this at the same time that I press the one on the left, and there's one on the bottom. We have 3 of these. 1, 2, and 1 on the bottom. I'm going to press at the same time to take it off the driver, okay? and it's off. And here's your hat right here. Okay, so what I need to do next now is place it in the embroidery machine. All right, if you notice right here, we have the stabilizer. All right, this is the design that I'm going to be using. Okay, so make sure that when you design your embroidery design, for at least for this machine, you should not do it no higher than 2.5 inches. So this is 2 1/4, and this is about 4.5 in width. I think the maximum for the EM1010 is 5 inches in the width, but the height is no more than 2.5. All right. Okay, guys, so I already placed the colors into the design. This is the positioning of the hat right here. It automatically places it facing that way because that's the way it's going to embroider. It's only 2 colors. It's going to be pink and white. And I'm going to continue placing the hat on the actual hat driver. Okay, so I'm going to move you around so that I can do that. You can see. It's going to go in exactly the same way that I did it when I was hooping. It's going to be exactly the same way. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, actually, you know, I'm going to cover the bill with painter's tape because I want to protect this part in here from getting stained by the movement of the machine. Sometimes there's some oils in the back of the machine and I want to protect the bill, all right? So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so I already covered with the painter's tape. This is an optional step. I do it because people that do hat, work on hats a lot, they recommend you to do that. They do sell a tape that is already in the shape of a bill, and you just place it there. But why would I want to invest on that if I can do it myself with painter's tape, right? And that's what a lot of people do. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna place the hat facing either to the right or to the left because I want to clear these needles in here. If I do it like this, it's not gonna go anywhere because of the bill. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna place it this way, and then you're gonna turn it around, okay? And then what you're gonna do, once you have it like this, you're gonna get a push, and you have to hit the click. If you don't hit the click, it's not in there, okay? I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. All right, so the hat is in place. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now is that I'm going to trace the hat, all right? Trace the design. So I'm gonna push trace. Oh, and I forgot to mention to you also that I'll reduce the speed of the embroidery to 550. I usually keep the speed of my embroidery to 850. The machine can go up to 1,000, but for normal flat embroidery, I go to 850. Now I'm going to reduce it to 550. All right. Let me move you down. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to trace. I center the center of the needle where the line is right here. And I'm going to trace it, okay? And it looks like it's not above here. You don't want it to be above here, okay? So let's see. And that noise that you hear is the bill of the hat making the noise. So it looks like it's centered to me. So we're going to start. I'm going to go ahead. And the way that I show you in Embrilliance, it's going to do all the border first in white. And then it's going to do the fill part in the pink. I placed the machine setting on AM, meaning that it's going to stop after each color. That will give me a break to place the foamy on top of these before I start embroidering the second part, okay? So let's start. Now it's top, and it's waiting for me to place the foamy on top. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place it on top right here, like so, and I'm going to tape it. You need to tape it because you don't want it to move and lose registration. Okay, so I'm gonna tape it to the hat. Because I want to make sure that this is not gonna go anywhere while it's embroidering. Of course, you're gonna make sure that it's away from the embroidery field, so it starts embroidering here, so it's under that. So it's taped in there. I'll make sure that I have everything covered. Okay, so now I'm gonna start again. Let's do this part. People, I'm so nervous. I've never done this before. So I hope it's okay. Okay. Okay, so I rethread the thread through the needle. It was thinning a little bit. I took it back a couple of steps. So let's start all over again. And I'm gonna take it back a couple of more steps because if you notice, it's not covered in here. So I'm gonna go a couple of steps back. Let's say another 60 stitches. Okay. And yeah, from the beginning. So this is the end of the process, the whole thing. If you notice, there's some puff coming off from here, and we had to push it inside. I don't know, it's puffed out from here. So we're gonna deal with that a little bit later, and I'm gonna go ahead and take off the hat of the driver, and I see you at the craft table, all right? Okay, guys, so we are here with the result. I'm gonna take this off. If you notice right here, foil from the machine. So it was a good idea for me to cover the bill. This happened when if you oil your machine like the day before. I did oil my machine every time I finish using it. So even though if you don't do it every day, you should always cover the bill, because sometimes it also crashes with the machine parts in the back. So I'm glad that I covered this. All protected. This doesn't happen all the time, all right? It happens only when I know that I oiled the machine the day before, just to be on the safe side. All right, so if you notice on the embroideries, some areas the puff come through the stitches, and that is normal. That happens to almost everybody. There are ways that we can use to help that. I'm just gonna tear this apart. Okay. It came out real puff. I mean, like real puff. I mean, I didn't know it was so thick. I don't know if you can see it. See some of the little puff coming through. I'm gonna push it with my tweezers in, and then I'm gonna use the heat gun. That's supposed to help. Right here, if you notice, it came off a little bit registration, this part, and I know that happens when you have the seam in the middle. I've seen other people that happened too. I don't think this has to do with the digitizing. It has to do with it coming off a little bit. It's not that bad. It doesn't bother me a lot because this is a hat. It's my first one, so it is okay. I'm gonna go ahead and over here too. It happens in here. It's pushed to the left, the pink embroidery part, and here it happened a little bit too. So I know it has to do with the puff. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. I'm not that sure, but for the most part, I am impressed with how high this puff is. Let me take off the stabilizer, throw away. It's off. And then I'm gonna work pushing this thread, this puff inside, and then using the heat gun. I read the instruction. It's not that difficult to do. It's very simple. These are the attachments that it comes with. I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Let me see. Maybe I can put this attachment to it. I don't think I need it. I'm gonna leave it like that to begin with and see how it works. Okay. What I'm gonna do, let me get some scissors to cut some of the threads in here. I'm going to use the other file that I got. It was like a regular font, like a block font, so that we can see the difference. All right. So when I'm done here, I'm going to bring you back at the end with the second hat done. I'm not going to go through the whole process because you've seen how it's done. I already hooked the other hat. If you notice, it's hooked, but I'm gonna change the file. I'm gonna use the other one that I got, the other alphabet file, and just to see the difference. Okay guys, so I'm gonna be working with this, and then I'll see you in a little bit. Okay guys, so I finished pushing as much as I could the puff inside the stitches, and yeah, and it worked. It does work. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the heat gun. All right. Okay, so it says that I had to turn on the heat. And we go, it says 0, 1, and 2. I put in 1. And then that you're gonna set the temperature clockwise. Okay, so I need to move the dial clockwise. It's not that hot. It's getting hotter. It's getting hotter. I don't know how hot I'm supposed to put it. Ooh, that one is hot. It is working. Everything is closing. Wow. I'm impressed. Yeah, that's enough. Whoa. Look at the difference, people. All the holes are gone. So it looks real nice. I am impressed. All right, guys, I'm going to work on the second one, and I'll bring you back when I'm done with the second hat, okay? I'm not going to go through the whole embroidery thing. I'm going to change the font to the second font that I got. I am so happy it worked. So that I can compare fonts, and yeah, I'll see you in a little bit, people, all right? Okay guys, so this is amazing. I love this file. I chose the liquid gold color for the fill inside, and the borders satin stitch I chose olive color thread, and I love it. I prefer it. Well, this one is a little bit higher of a puff. This is real nice puff, and I had like no issues embroidering. I had no thread breaks or anything. It did it right through the whole embroidery with non-stopping at all. I really like it. And I mean, this works real fine, shrinking the thread, hiding the puff. I had to use the orange color puff because it was the closest color to the liquid gold, which is like a mustard shiny color, and it did a great job by hiding it under the stitches. I don't see anything. I used the dial. I left the dial here on the same setting, and this is like the distance that I'm using it. I didn't put it too close, and I love it. So yeah, so let me get you closer. Let me check the camera out so that you can see me talking. I'll be right back, okay? So before I move the camera around, this is the result of this one. I love this file. I'm gonna try to link this shop from Etsy, is what I got this file from. And then the other one, they're both from Etsy. I believe so, yeah. All right, liquid gold and olive color around. And this one is a closer look for this one. It's a very high puff. Let me see if I can put it this way. You can see the 3D puff. And it came out real nice also. Okay. Let me place this one flat so that you can see the elevation of the puff. You see? Real nice. Okay. So guys, this is the final result. I am very happy with it. I want to thank you for spending this time with me. If you have any question about the whole thing, let me know down in the description box. I will be sure to answer all the questions. I'm going to link the heat gun down in my description box also. This is from Amazon. And like I mentioned before, I'm going to try to find the shop that I got these files. They are from Etsy. Let me put this one on so that you can see how it looks like. It came out real nice. I really like it a lot. And let me show you this one. Let me take this off. I have a ponytail back there, so I'm trying to I don't know if it's straight or not. I don't have a mirror to see myself. But what do you think? I think it came out real nice. I am very pleased for being my first time. Like I said before, I try to find some files so that I can do some more puff embroidery. Etsy and Creative Fabrica, they don't have that many. I was very surprised. You can find a lot of alphabet puff style, but they don't have like actually like a design that you can do puff that is not like letters. So anyway, thank you for spending this time with me. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, The Crafty Puerto Rican. And also, guys, don't forget to click the thumb up. It will help my channel a lot. I want to really thank you for those who are subscribing to my channel. You're making a big difference on this channel. It's growing, and thanks to you, I am very, very, very thankful. I will see you soon with some new content. So I will see you later. Bye-bye. Hasta luego.